Peace and love. How are you? It's been a while. I figured I'd come on here and do a reading for us today. And so I have my angel cards. I figured we'll do an angel reading and we'll just see where Spirit takes us. I hope you're doing well. I hope things are going well with your healing. Hoping that you're remaining peaceful and optimistic about life. And that you're seeing the bright side of things. Let's go ahead and get started. My name is Jewel, by the way. I don't know if I've ever introduced myself, but my name is Jewel. I'm a spiritual reader. I'm a poet. I'm a many things. And so, thank you, Spirit, for another day of life. Thank you, Most High, for the gift of life. Thank you, angels, for your protection, for your guidance. Thank you, ancestors, for your courage, for your strength, for your knowledge, for your history, for your power. Thank you for being here with me on this journey as we move forward. Angels, what messages do you have for us today when it comes to our healing, when it comes to our growth and our spiritual journey? What messages do you have for us? I'm just probably going to do about 3 cards. Probably have 2. And we'll look at the card on the bottom. Angel of Alchemy. See that? We have the Angel of Free Flight. And this is the Angels of Light Oracle by Ambika Waters. This is a beautiful oracle. Gorgeous angel pictures in here. And I love these drawings because they don't just depict white angels, which normally that's all we see. But there are many different colors in here. And to me, angels will be colorful just like we are. And so we also have the Angel of Reflection. And on the bottom, we have Angel of Sensuality, an Angel of New Love as well. You see that? Angel of Sensuality. Angel of New Love. Sorry about that. I have that ring light in the back just because this apartment is a little bit on the darker side. I was hopeful that I would move into a place with more sunlight. I do have some sun, but not quite enough. So, let's see. All right, let's get one more. Let's get one of the Divine Abundance cards really quickly. So this is a love reading to me. That Angel of Sensuality, Angel of New Love, Angel of Sensuality. That Angel of Alchemy, to me, makes me think of 2 things coming together. 2 sides coming together, 2 elements coming together. I mean, alchemy is just the art of creation. And so maybe 2 people are coming together at this time, or 2 energies, 2 powerful energies are coming together to create one force with that Angel of Alchemy card. What message do you have for us, Spirit? What message do you have for us, angels? Awakening and divine flow. So Spirit says that whatever is going on, and we've had that divine flow card, I'm sure, whatever is going on, we need to move with Spirit. That Spirit has our best intentions at heart. And how do we move with Spirit? We've talked about it. We are using our intuition. We're relaxing the body. We're relaxing the mind. We are removing all rigid thoughts and we're working on stepping outside of boxes that have been created around us and that we've created ourselves. And so we are allowing that softer part of ourselves, we're allowing that fluid energy, we're allowing that light body to pretty much initiate and point and move us in that right direction. So we're trying our best to move away from rigidity of thought. So, and we're in a period of awakening. Oh my Lord, wake me from life as a spiritual sheep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. And that's where we are here. That's where the love is. That's how we find the love. That's how we find the love of partners, true love when it comes to partnerships. But ultimately, that's how we find the love for the self, for ourselves, for who we are. That's how we find love for the Most High, and find love in our spiritual purpose and our spiritual work. That's the hardest part of life, and the most important part of life is that love that we find. And we always think of love in a form of partnerships when it comes to man and woman, or woman and woman, or man and man. It depends upon what your situation is. Love is love. It's the self-love that tends to be the hardest, because the self-love allows us to see the love that's around us. You're not able to love anybody else fully until you love yourself. And the Most High puts us here with that love, that deep love in our heart. And we want to share that with other people. We want to spread that around, and we want to do that with confidence, and we want to allow spirit to take over, because the heart chakra for me is the gateway to spirit. We've talked about this before. It's the gateway to spirit, where that's the communication center, where your communication with others, your communication with the Most High mainly, you're communicating with your spirit guides, you're communicating with your angels. It's that heart space. And so when we don't have an activated heart space, and some of the heart chakra, when we don't have an activated heart space, we're not able to discern properly. We're not able to see ourselves properly. We've been here. We've talked about that. But this is the awakening, where we're seeing who we are. We're having an understanding of who we are, and we're ready to move on our spiritual purpose forward. I hadn't been on here for a bit because, I had a talk. The last talk I did on here, we talked about the shadow. And that's kind of one of my things too, because we're always battling that shadow. Some people battle harder than others, but we all are still kind of working on those things. And one of the shadow things that I work on is my doubts with my spiritual work. I don't really have doubts when it comes to other people, My doubt is, what are my guides thinking? What is the Most High thinking about what I'm doing? Am I doing what I've been told to do? Am I listening properly? Am I feeling properly? And when I get into moments where I feel like spirit, or I feel like my guides have kind of gone quiet, we have to be able to concentrate and go in with ourselves too, because we are spirit. We have those answers. But when I have moments where I feel like I'm not getting the signs, and I'm starting to get confused, I'm not seeing a lot of results with what I'm doing. And we've talked many times about how in spiritual work, sometimes we don't see results. Sometimes results aren't what we want them to be, right? Not on the scheme of what life would consider to be results and consider to be success. It's going to be a little bit different. And so when I have those moments, I consider them moments of darkness, not in a negative way, but where my eyes are like this, when I can't really see what's going on. And so I have to really go deeper into my spiritual beliefs and deeper into spirit then. And it's a questioning. I had a couple of moments a while back where I was in a state of questioning. And for me, questioning is just like, oh, what am I doing? It's tears. It's deep inner work. It's, am I on the right path? What am I doing? It's a seriousness to it. It's a painfulness to it too, that idea that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not saying what Spirit would have me to say. I'm not walking that path. And just so we know that we're walking the path, we're living life, we're walking the path, we're always walking the path of spirit, right? Whether we're learning deep lessons, whether they're hard lessons or whether they're easy lessons. There are no easy lessons, but you know what I'm saying. Whether, they're roadblocks, we're still walking the path of spirit, right? So even with me, with constant spiritual work, we all are in places to go through awakenings, many different awakenings, right? And so awakenings aren't something that can happen once in a lifetime, twice in a lifetime. We can go through awakenings. It could be a daily thing. It could be, a weekly thing. Going outside and spending time at the river, going outside and looking at the trees, looking at the birds, and thinking to yourself, oh my goodness, this is a blessing. Look at this life. Look at this energy here. That's an awakening. An awakening means that you're coming out of something and you're seeing it with new eyes. You're seeing it with a renewed spirit. You're seeing it with a new heart. And it's a desire to change. You're part of a powerful evolutionary energy where you want to be a part of the change, right? And so that's what the awakening is. And so we're in a period of going through awakening right now. The angel of free flight. Spirit is saying, well, our angels, spirit is all the same to me. Our angels are saying that allow it to happen. Allow that light body to take over. Allow that delicate energy to take over and allow it to lift your feet off the ground, right? Visualize yourself flying. But remove, this is the time where, because the free flight, they're telling me that it's too much on us. You have too much on you. You have too many burdens on you. You've put too many things on your back. You've put work there. You've put other obligations there. You've put other people there. You've put their beliefs there. You've put the world's beliefs there. You've put this. And Spirit is saying you're carrying too many things at this time. You're going through this awakening process. Not only do you have to have a open heart, but you have to have a light body. And so when we go through this awakening, we start to see things that are happening around us that we realize that aren't right, those things that are bringing us down, those heavy negative energies. And it's time to remove those. We've talked about this, the fear that comes from changing and the fear that comes from walking away from situations, the fear that comes from putting things down, right? So Spirit is saying, our angels are saying, we have too many obligations. We have too many things that we're trying to do that we can't unhook ourselves from those so that we can fly with that free flight, right? So we have 10 things that we have on our back, right? And so Spirit is saying you need to remove 9 of them. And so that becomes the hard part, because the power comes in the ability to fly. And we realize that we aren't flying, literally, but we're flying spiritually, which is extremely powerful, right? And so the flying spiritually, what that means is, if you think about a leaf or you think about a feather and you think about how the wind comes by and it just blows it like this and then it lands. And where it lands is where it's supposed to be. So we need to always be in a space that we can be lifted up by the winds of spirit, right? Lifted up by the winds of the Most High, lifted up by the wings of our angels, so that we can just glide like this, right? And so when we have so many obligations, so many things that we're dedicating ourselves to, we don't look and we don't feel what we need to feel, and we don't allow ourselves to be light. Angel of reflection. Now is the time where we're looking at ourselves, we're looking at our lives, and we're looking at what we have. We're looking at what we want out of life. And we're looking at where we see ourselves. The angel reflection also makes me think about that shadow work that we talked about last time. If you didn't watch the video, go back and watch that one. But that angel of reflection, where we're really looking deeply into who we are, we're looking into those parts of ourselves, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's nothing really ugly, really. Nothing really ugly about us. We're all beautiful. Even the darker parts of us, every part has beauty to it, because we're beautiful, right? But we still want to bring those things to the surface. And so that's what we're doing too with that reflection. We're looking at who we are. We're looking at the things around us. We're looking at what we're taking on, what we're carrying, and we're saying, what is it? What is this thing? How is it serving me, right? And so that's where that reflection comes in. And two, this also makes me think about, because we have that heart down there, and we're talking about love, those loving relationships, whether it's a partnership, it's looking at yourself by looking at someone else. If that makes any sense. It's seeing yourself through someone else's eyes in a healthy way, where you able to be on one accord with someone, where two people are able to come and they're able to see each other like this. They see the light, right? They see the light and they see the shadow. That's true love to me. That's true love. True love if you're talking about a family relationship. True love if you're talking about a romantic partnership. True love if you're talking about a friendship. Love exists in many different forms. But that's true love. When two people are able to see the lightness and the darkness that exist in one another, and they're able to work together in tandem to reflect those energies, where you're seeing it, but then also it's a mutual healing that occurs when those things are brought to the surface, right? This is the idea of unconditional love. This means that you love somebody no matter what their faults may be. Not that they're harming you, not that they're hurting you. We're not talking about that type of love. We're not talking about the person that wants to harm you and hurt you and steal from you and steal your energy, and they want you to stay there with them to take that abuse. We're not talking about an abusive relationship, right? Because we can love somebody and not be with them and not want to be with them. We know when we're being abused. We need to know when we're being abused if we don't already know. We need to know when we're being abused. And that comes from having a open heart, but also having your intuitive, gifts in check, or being intuitively open. Because this is not about an abusive type of love. That is, I don't condone it. I don't believe in it. There's no growth in that type of love. And if you're in a situation where somebody is constantly pulling on your energy, you need to remove yourself from that. If you've had a talk with them and you said you're hurting me, your energy is hurting me, what you're doing is hurting me, you're making me feel a certain way. And I get it, sometimes, we can go in with our feelings and we can put so much on somebody else, but we know when we're being in situations where we're being abused, right? So if you're in that situation, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about mutual love, reciprocity, reciprocal energy, equal give and take, right? So and two angels or two figures on this card here, they're not looking at each other. So this can be a situation where there are two people who have the ability to heal with reciprocal energy, healthy energy, but they're not looking in each other's direction, right? Maybe that's the awakening. Maybe that's the reflection that needs to take place. And then also, too, that idea that there might be things that are in the way here with this angel of free flight. Maybe there are too many things in the way. Maybe there are too many burdens. Maybe there are too many obstacles. And Spirit is saying that you need to allow yourself to fly, to move freely. That angel of alchemy, what we talked about earlier, these two things coming together, this energy coming together to create one, which is a true power. This looks like the sun here. So two energies that can come together, that can bring powerful healing energy, but illumination, where you're able to see things together that you're not able to see apart. That sounds wonderful to me, right? You're able to see things together that you're not able to see apart. One person brings something that the other doesn't have, and by getting that little bit of information, it might seem to be small to you, but to the other person, it could be big. It's like a puzzle piece. One person having something to add to the other, and vice versa. And when you do that, and it's not the idea of one person completing someone else, because we want to come in complete. We want to come in on the journey. We want to come in working on ourselves. We want to come in recognizing healing. We want to come in recognizing the shadow. We want to come in realistically, right? So we're not sitting there as a half of a person waiting for someone to come and to make us whole. Because the work that we're always doing work with spirit. We're always doing work on ourselves, right? And so when we meet this person, when we meet this energy, you come fully. You come to the table fully. That's how two people are able to see themselves. And that's how a person is able to really see someone, when they come fully and they come realistically and they come without lies, right? And so when two people come together who have worked on their healing, who have understood their shadow, and who are they're in the process of healing from that and recognizing that, because we still can find love in the healing journey, right? And so you're meeting someone while you're in that process, because the process is ever going. It's always going. It's never finished. It's never completed. This is a part of life. This is why we're here. But when you come together, somebody has something that the other is missing. And when they bring that to the person, Spirit says, like, information is available. Information is available that you couldn't access beforehand. We have the sensuality too. And this new love. Allowing yourself, whether man or woman, allowing yourself to be sensual in whatever way that what that means for you, but delighting in your sensuality, allowing your senses to be heightened and to not feel any way about that. Being free with that free flight, being free with who you are, being free with your emotions, allowing your heart to open and to pour out. It's power in sensuality. It's loving yourself. It's feeling yourself, right? But feeling yourself in a healthy way. It's caring for yourself, wanting the best for yourself, wanting to share that with someone else too, wanting to share that experience of wanting the best emotionally, wanting to open up your emotions to someone else, wanting to share parts of yourself with someone else, wanting to share that lightness and that sweetness with someone else. It's something powerful in that. I mean, because I believe that we can be in relationships where we give ourselves or we share ourselves with people. But to truly share with someone while you're working on your healing, as you're working through your healing, coming to the table, knowing that you're not perfect, knowing that there's healing that needs to be done, knowing that you don't have all the answers, but still willing to walk with strength and power with your head up, coming together with someone and letting them know that I don't have it all. I'm still healing. I'm still learning. And best believe they should be telling you the same thing, because no one has all the answers. And allowing that vulnerability to show, where you're able to open yourself up to someone and they're able to open up to you in all the sadness and all the darkness and all the despair and all the hurt and all the pain and all the blindness of not knowing what's there and not knowing what's in front of you. That's the true awakening. That's the alchemy, right? That's the creation. That's two things coming together to become one. It has to be a fluid energy between two people in order to truly become one. And that's what we really want when we think about soulmates and when we think about partnerships and marriages, friendships, family relationships, all these things. But definitely when we think about new love and soulmate relationships, is we want to become one with someone where there's no fear. There's no fear of being who we are. There's no fear of sharing parts of ourselves with someone because we feel like we're being judged, or we're being looked at a certain way, or we're being dismissed, or we're being ignored, or many, many things, right? And so we're able to come together with someone and we're able to let the guards down, you know? Just let them down. Just let them down. And you come raw. You come bare. You come naked, right? That's the sensuality. That's the true sensuality. It's not just about sex. It's not just about somebody, putting on something and, that's nice too. That's sensual. The sensual is the senses, right? But it's being vulnerable, but in a healthy way, where you're in a connection where it's reciprocal, right? And so when two people are able to come together and everything is dropped, the facades, when those things are dropped, they're meeting each other on an equal playing field. They're meeting each other eye to eye. They both realize that there's growing that needs to be done. There's growing that needs to be done together and growing that needs to be done apart. They both realize that. And so then the relationship takes another meaning because it becomes a spiritual connection. And that's what I talk about when I do love readings here, spiritual connections. Because no matter what you think, we're here for spiritual purposes. And so when you meet someone and it's a love connection and it's a spiritual connection, a high level spiritual connection, it creates the catalyst and that energy for ascension, where we're moving forward and we're moving upwards toward the most high energy, towards the next dimension, towards the next, where we're going, where we will end up next. The spirit is moving. The spirit is evolving. Those type of things. These are the relationships that we need to be in. And I think what happens is we get here and it becomes base. When it's just about sex, it's just about money, it's just about status, it's about looks, it's about blah, 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 whatever, And it's not about the heart. And it's not about the sweetness. And it's definitely not about the Most High. What's sexy, it's nothing sexy about talking about God or talking about the Most High when we're talking about romance. But it really is, though, because maybe not in that sense, but when we think about we're not here forever, we're only here but for a moment. We're only here but for a moment. I'm 41. My mother passed away in early 60s. And my father, he passed away early 60s, right? So, not saying that'll be me, but we're only here but for a moment. That needs to be respected. That needs to be understood. And we need to live our lives like that and not believe that we're just here singular and it's all just, this is what it is, this is what I need to do, robotic, in a robotic fashion, when we have to return somewhere. Do we not think about where we go? Do we not make plans? We make plans for everything else. We make plans for what job I'm going to get. We make plans for where I'm going to live. We make plans for, how much money I want to make. What degree do I want to have? But we don't make plans for where our spirit goes after we exit here. That's a part of the plan. That should be a part of the plan. It's a part of the plan for me. It's important for me. It's important that when I'm done here, physically, the physical body is done here, the vessel is worn and tired out and is ready to be laid to rest. The spiritual body, that spiritual energy, how it lifts out that body is up to me. And if I think about my partnership, and I think about the person I'm with, and if I'm not able to feel light in the relationship I'm in, if I feel like someone is stepping on my neck, or vice versa, if I feel like I'm with someone and everything, the weight of the world is on my shoulders, and I've lived my life like that, and it's the same for a job. If I feel like my job is pressing on my shoulders and pressing on my neck and pressing on my head to the point where I can't think straight, if I live my life like that and I never think about my spirit, when it comes time for me to leave here, how easily will it travel? That's right. And I believe in a spirit when we talk about the light body energy, that spiritual energy. I want it to lift up out of the body. Know where to go, what to do, what. I guess we'll stay here, we'll linger here, we'll. No. I want the spirit to lift out the body, and I want that spirit to be sure. I want to be sure, because the spirit is really me. I want that spirit to lift out the body, and I want it to move with power, with intention, with truth. This is love relationships that we're talking about. This is family relationships. This is work relationships. These are all those things. I know this reading is kind of going all over the place, but all these messages are coming out, and this is what I've been told to talk about. So it's not easy, right? Courage is here. Let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown. Some of us know we're being stepped on. We know we're dealing with heavy energy. We know we're dealing with negative circumstances, negative people, negative environments. Spirit is saying, be courageous. Our angels are with us. They're watching over us. Ask them for assistance, right? Be courageous. Deepening. Once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping detachment and surrender. They bring the peace of God. So we're looking for relationships, we're looking for environments, we're looking for situations that can bring us into a state of deepening, where we're deepening the relationship with ourselves, and we're deepening the relationship with whatever belief you might have. I personally believe in a creative energy. I say the Most High a lot, but I believe in a creative energy. But if you don't believe in a creative energy, whatever you believe in, deepening that belief, that spiritual belief, or that whatever that belief that you might have, deepening that. We're looking for circumstances, we're looking for relationships and situations that can put us in the mindset to deepen who we are and to deepen our connections with spirit. Signs. The signs are there. Instincts are messages from the inner divine. We know what we need to do. We know what we need to be. It takes courage. Any good thing in life requires courage. Nothing is just given to us. Nothing important is just given to us. It takes courage to live a life, a spiritual life. And I think it's something about the spiritual life that doesn't seem appealing. And I think people get that idea of religion and spirituality, and these things are, like, some people feel like they can hold you back. But really the power exists in those things, in whatever way it works for you. I believe in Mother Earth. I go out sometimes. I need to do it more. But I'll go out and sit and pray, sit on the earth and pray. I'll give offerings. I'll do flowers and crystals sometimes. I'll do offerings. I'll place my hand on the earth. I'll give thanks and I'll send energy and I'll pray. So I believe in Mother Earth. I believe in the moon. I believe in the healing energies of the sun. I give thanks to the sun. I'll go outside and I'll sit and pray on the earth, and I'll sit and pray to the sun and give thanks to the sun. Why? Because, like I've said many times before, that's a visual representation of Most High energy or creative energy or life force energy. We wouldn't be alive without that energy. Why not give thanks to it? And so spirituality is more than just sitting in a church. Spirituality is more, and then some people who sit in church might not be spiritual, we never know. But spirituality is more than just, following a certain guideline. Spirituality is being thankful for who you are and being thankful for life. That's it at its smallest form. That's extremely powerful. Spirituality is recognizing the life and the spirit and the energy that exists in the rivers, in the lakes, in the oceans. Spirituality is remembering your grandmother, remembering your grandfather, your mother, your aunt, your uncle, and saying prayers for them and giving thanks for them, and even just the memory of them. Spirituality is so many different things. Don't allow somebody else's idea of spirituality to keep you away from deepening a relationship with yourself and with the essence of life, right? I want to see if maybe I'll do one more. Let's do it's a longer reading. This is one of my favorite decks. Spirit of the Animals. I always get ancestral messages and spirit messages from the animals that I view outside. Birds are very important to me. This is a love reading, but it's also loving yourself, abundance. Sacred Buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom. Keep me warm with the storms of life. Fill my life with goodness. Teach me the ways of gratitude and prayer. It's a beautiful energy there. This is a family here on this card. Don't be afraid to share yourself with someone. Don't be afraid to share yourself with others. There's abundance to be found with truly sharing yourself with someone, other people. Butterfly, this was on the bottom, rebirth. You can reinvent yourself, open to the rewards of change. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. The awakening, the rebirth, that powerful spiritual transformation, opening yourself up and allowing all your colors to be shown, coming out of that cocoon, ready to embrace life, eager to embrace life, but staying in that cocoon and healing if you need to. Just a beautiful butterfly coming out of the chrysalis. That's who you are, right? That's who we all want to be. We all want to be transformed, and we all want to have rebirths. Not just one, many different different transformations in life. All right. Until next time. Peace.